Oh well. Onwards to Musée Grün. Because we have a Lobineau to meet here. Hopefully he is here now. He should be. Yep, there he is.
Pardon me. Oui, monsieur?
Nothing.
Forget it. He was a thin-faced, pallid guy with a questionable taste in outlandish clothes. My mother used to dress like that.
Ha! He dresses in women's clothing. Oh, what a nerd.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Why would we really want your...
My name is George Stobar. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Okay. Would be funny if he would have taken out the gun and shot him right there and then. The end! Oh, the jokes are really failing today. At least it feels like.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands.
The Crusaders.
A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
The second week of July?
Maybe. Yes, it was, just before Bastille Day.
So Pegram was in Paris at the same time as the other victims.
Ooh.
Pardon? Victims of what?
Assassination.
Nothing. Just
Murder.
thinking aloud.
Killing. Or maybe we could say that they have all met horrible accidents by weird clowns and other stuff.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Viva la Révolution!
What can you tell me about Philippe le Bel?
He was responsible for the extermination of the Knights Templar.
I know that, but why was Philip so hot to get rid of them?
Mostly because he wanted to get his hands on their treasure.
Which is a myth.
He had an enormous debt and a lifelong war with England to fund. The trouble was, the Templars were a highly respected holy order.
If the Templars were so powerful, how did this Philippe dude wipe them out?
By underhanded, dishonorable means, of course. The Pope was Clement V, a Frenchman.
French, huh? Handy for Philippe.
Very handy.
Fate had nothing to do with it. He was Philippe's puppet, planted to further his political ambition.
Yeah, of course.
Philippe wanted the wealth of the Templars and used Clement to get it.
That's something that I would do if I played Crusader Kings too. I mean, you can do that. Just name your own pope there. If I could get a pope that was my bloodline, that would make a big difference. Never thought of that, actually. Damn it. Should try to plan that for the next time I play Crusaders 2. Crusader Kings 2, that is.
So what was Philippe's plan? What happened?
Sealed orders were sent out all over France, not to be opened until the appointed day. That day was Friday, July 13th.
Friday the 13th.
That's the origin of our superstition regarding that date.
Indeed.
At dawn, throughout the whole of France, the Templars were arrested. It was the biggest bust in the history of the world.
Or maybe it was the second biggest bust in the world that everybody's ever seen.
What happened to the Templars after their arrest?
Philippe was out for blood, so he handed the Templars over to the Inquisition.
Was it
Not
Spanish?
surprisingly, they confessed to a sensational and sordid list of blasphemies.
Like what?
Oh, the sort of things you read about in the gutter press. Devil worship, lewd sexual practices, spitting on the Holy Cross, that kind of thing.
Well, that must have given their lawyers some headaches.
Whether or not the accusations were true, this was not good publicity. Most of the charges were probably cooked up, but so were the Templars. Literally. Hundreds of them were found guilty of heresy and flamed grilled at the stake.
Nasty.
They died protesting their innocence.
I mean, maybe they were shouting freedom.
But surely Philippe had no proof of his charges against the Templars.
A man will admit anything under torture. The Inquisition fabricated some nonsensical demon called Baphomet, and then suggested to their victims that this was what they worshipped.
Baphomet is not
They
the...
didn't have to agree.
The records show a Templar coming to trial with both feet burnt off. Fragments of flesh and charred bone falling from the stumps.
Yeah.
What would you not admit to stop such torment?
True.
So there was no truth at all in the Baphomet accusations?
Not a shred. Almost every victim described the idol differently. No, Baphomet never existed outside the sick minds of the Inquisitors.
Well, you're a bit wrong there. Baphomet is a real thing. He is a real demon. Lots of people have believed in him. Hey there, Cass. Welcome to the stream of Broken Sword. It's now musical, apparently. Or maybe not.
So Philippe stole the Templars' riches, huh?
Oh no, they weren't stupid. The king's troops marched first on the temple in Paris, then to the Templar home port at La Rochelle. There was no trace of the treasure, and the fleet of the Knights Templar had set sail.
You are really into it, aren't you? Well, I'm sure... I wonder if he's like this every time he tells somebody about history. Just goes all into it. Well, he's passionate about it, so no wonder he's a historian. It's good to be passionate about it, but he doesn't really need to go all overboard telling the stories. Well, he would make a great storyteller if he told these stories to kids. He's got that thespian style to it.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez.
Well, that's pretty much what they were. Well, all kinds of things, not just soldiers.
How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
It's Georges, not Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons.
Yes, they
There are
have.
people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
And it's also a big debate still that many people still believe that the Knights Templar had a large treasure hold somewhere and it's never been found, but it's mostly become a myth these days that the Knights Templars treasure ever existed, that they had hoarded a lot of treasure for themselves and then left it somewhere hiding when they started being slaughtered. And I don't really believe it myself. It makes a great storytelling, though. And around this time, there were a lot of adventure games and other stories with having Knights Templar in them. It was a big thing in the late 90s, wasn't it? At least it seemed to me.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. Maybe it was my imagination, but I noticed a predatory look in his eye. Suddenly, this friendly historian had turned into the big bad wolf.
So maybe he likes the woman. Maybe a bit too much.
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Alamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
The Hashashin. Interesting.
This friend who has the manuscript?
Are we, the anonymous girlfriend?
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Now let's go back to Nicole's place and maybe he'll appear there as well. You never know. Dum 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 dum. Hey, Vissel. Everybody. Rue Jarry. Hello, Nicole.
Hey, Nico.
Wanna go bowling?
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you back so soon.
I don't think we're ever gonna get tired of the GTA 4 jokes that we're gonna make because of their name.
Have you found out any more about the Knights Templar?
Yes, I have. The guy responsible for their downfall was Philippe IV, the King of France, otherwise known as Philippe le Bel.
I've heard of him.
Well, he is known to history as Philippe the Fair, but I doubt if the Templars called him that. I'm sure Andre will tell you all about him.
He did.
I'll see you again soon.
Okay.
I wonder where we can go now. Maybe I have to go back to the museum and do something there. I guess I have to look at the I have to look at the tripod and maybe get Andre to tell me about that. Oh, Montfaucon is open. Never mind. Let us go to Montfaucon. Montfaucon. Ah, the cafe.
A typically Parisian sidewalk cafe. Last time I visited one of those, it blew up. I decided I was happy enough right where I was.
Yeah, I got a feeling that George is not gonna go into any cafes anytime soon.
I once read a list of low-stress jobs. It didn't include police work. Obviously, this guy hadn't read the same list.
Oh, come on, give him a break. He's an old man. And he's a gendarme, so he doesn't need to be all that alert all the time, you know? He can enjoy a cup of coffee.
Excuse me, officer.
And how may I help you?
Okay, he's definitely not drinking coffee. You can tell from the little slur that he has in his voice that he may be a little tipsy. And just not maybe a little bit more than just a tipsy man. That didn't make any sense.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Apparently duty is not important to this guy.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Huh. That makes sense.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac. But it didn't seem polite.
Well, you could have just said that.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Jeez.
Fixed to the wall was a sign in 3 languages. In French, English, and German it read, "In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the Knightly Order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine."
Groovy.
In the middle of the square was a manhole. I wondered if there might be something relevant beneath street level.
There might be, but I don't think we're gonna get there with the police officer around.
An architectural echo of the gallows that once used to stand here. At the top of the stairs was a medieval church.
Apparently I can use the church instead of just walking there.
A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies,
George.
the flabby flesh of the old men.
George.
That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies.
George, keep your head in the game.
Whoa!
Yeah, keep your head in the game, dude. This is no time to start thinking about the derrieres of young Parisian ladies. Even though it is a very nice image, yeah, we saw the reaction to it. Whoa!
A knight's tomb, his effigy in marble lying in perpetual state.
Then I started to wonder, why does my thought echo in this place? It doesn't make any sense because I'm not talking out loud.
Waiting in prayer for the judgment day. I didn't have time to sit around.
Yet you had time to think about the buttocks of young Parisian women. You got priorities there, dude.
A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
I don't think there is much of a biblical story, and it looks like there's 3 knights and a squire, maybe.
A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll.
Looks like something we have seen before.
The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Brr.
A huge arched window. Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
Definitely. I guess these two got broken at some point, but this was still stayed.
A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. Per disciplinum meum lux videbis. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow! Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess.
Yeah, but I guess we need something for it, so how about we try to use this? Nope. We do need a lens or something to put here so we can see some secret message in the window. We don't have it though yet.
I wondered if this guy had died in combat. A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work.
Bum, 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 bum.
The second stone knight in a row of 4 lay on the church floor.
There must be something important about these guys.
I was surprised Philip le Bel had left this place alone.
Yeah, you would have thought that he would desecrate this place because of all the Knights Templar buried here. But I
A
guess
stone knight lay on the church floor.
But I guess even Philippe had some respect for the dead.
Just think, there's a dead guy under there.
Yeah, that's how tombs work. Or even, well, these are pretty much tombs. So nothing we can do around here right now. I need a special lens to see through that scroll. So how about we go back to Nico? Casa, let's go play some darts. Let's go look at American ladies with big titties. Isn't that what Roman says? I haven't played GTA 4 in a long time.
Hello again, officer.
Hello again, monsieur.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
You are one weird police officer. Just sitting at a cafe and drinking wine. Nico, cousin, wanna hang out?
Hey, Nico.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you back so soon.
You sound exhausted. Have you been doing something naughty around here? Hmm?
Let's take another look at the manuscript. The Night Scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
So yeah, that is definitely the guy in the church. Sorta, kinda. It looks about the same.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod.
I'd better go ask about the tripod.
I'll see you again soon.
Okay.
I just wanted to take a look at the manuscript and see if Georges says anything differently about the statue. To the museum we go, to the museum we go. I'm definitely turning this gameplay into a musical, apparently. Definitely, apparently. Using two different kinds of things. Ugh.
Now, what did I tell you about touching the exhibits?
Oh yeah, don't.
Was it you can touch all you want so long as your hands are clean?
Not quite, monsieur. It was do not touch, not ever!
Oh yeah, that was it. The case contained the tripod shown on the manuscript. Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
It's George! Son of a bitch.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so.
Then what do you think? It's just a gemstone?
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
Not now, Georgie.
Rude! Refusing a guy's handshake to show that we trust you and all that.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for nothing. Now can I go inside the sarcophagus to get the tripod? Is it working now? Seems to work.
This is ridiculous. I could be here for hours.
Damn it! We need that tripod, George! You know it. We know it. Okay, what do I need to do?
Hey, you! What do you think you are doing?
Go into the sewers?
Leave that cover alone. Now.
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that.
So now you're doing your police work instead of enjoying the so-and-so Sauvignon. Ugh. We gotta get rid of you.
Hello again, officer.
Hello again, monsieur.
Would you like to shake... I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart.
Oh, come
They'd
on.
rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key.
Let me think.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose. Very significant.
To what?
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
Funny little man, huh?
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician. My TV has been acting up. Could you fix it?
I doubt it. This isn't my ID. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern. Beyond that, who knows?
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
George
So
would.
either it's glass or I'm mad. I didn't like to think about that for too long. I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
So we gotta get rid of this guy somehow. So I could go into the sewers. I have no idea.
An ornate fountain stood in one corner of the square. An ornate fountain stood... I'd have to come by here in the summer to see it working. There was no water to frolic about in, and the leaf mold that was collecting there just wasn't the same somehow.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same to frolic around in some mold. It would actually be dangerous to your health.
Excuse me,
What do you want now?
have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The SpiderMwa Clinic in the Avenue des Hérissons.
That is what I needed to know. Talk to Moo about Jacques Marquet.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Or maybe he talked to the police about many things.
See you later, Sergeant.
And he infiltrated other places to have his hands on them. Eventually. There we go. Now we can go to the hôpital.
What will George find in the hospital? Tune in next time for the next episode of The Broken Sword.